this will come full circle when Dave Chappelle decides to die on this hill, and he will die on this hill.
NANI?
Dynamite!
Okay, here we go. 4x2. Boom. All right, let's talk about Dave Chappelle. Clap it. Let's talk about him. All right. So, just a quick recap, everybody, because if you is Heero going to be coming from a liberal? Shut the fuck up. All right. Dave Chappelle, a top 10 comedian once upon a time in my life, but as a person who doesn't really keep up with comedians, I can still probably say he's a top 10 comedian. But recently, he has gone on this tangent, and I'm going to admit two things here. After I saw his last show, which was the show where he, the last Netflix special, that was the last show I saw of him. Didn't find it very interesting. But I just wanted to hear the trans jokes he was telling that was making people uncomfortable. And how, if from my non-trans perspective, found those jokes to be dangerous. And what I ultimately came to is realize that, one, the special wasn't funny, and two, I'm not in the space to tell if those jokes are dangerous or not. I'm not in the position to tell a woman if she should feel safe walking down a dark alleyway. Do I feel safe? Give or take, it depends. Are we talking about downtown Chicago, or are we talking, Pine Bluff, Arkansas? there's some. I need some stats, but ultimately, no one is in charge of your feelings. Thus, you are the only person. You are the only mother rucker who can talk about your feelings. So I never try and put myself in the space of a trans person, of a gay person, of a woman. If that's how they said they feel, they are in charge of their feelings, and that's how they feel. You can't correct that shit. Now, if you slap somebody and they say, "Oh," and they start laughing, you might have a reason to run away, because anytime you hit somebody and they start laughing, that means your shit was weak and you about to get your ass whooped. So take those things with a grain of salt. But recently, Dave Chappelle got canceled again, and he's going to die on this hill. Dave Chappelle is going to die on this hill, and I'm going to tell you how this is going to end. He's eventually going to make it come full circle and say trans people are racist, and it's just going to be this toxic circle of hate that continues to follow each other. Hey, clap it up for Dollar Bill McNeil, baby. I see you in there, baby. Clap it up. It's going to be this constant cycle, and it's going to come full circle. It's not going to be explained. It's not going to be understood, but that's how it's going to end. But what's happening right now in the middle is he was supposed to have a show in Minneapolis. I always say that word wrong, but basically this was the tweet that was sent out by Varsity Theater, who was the theater that picked him up after the show got canceled, basically saying, "Attention, Dave Chappelle fans, show scheduled for tonight at the..." Wait, I'm reading this off the wrong screen. Okay, there we go. I was reading it off the screen that I'm watching. Scheduled for tonight's First Avenue. Okay, so First Avenue was the one that canceled him. Now has been moved to Varsity Theater. Your tickets from First Avenue will be honored. Doors open at 8 p.m. and highly recommend arriving early. The thing that was really interesting about this whole entire take was, one, this was bound to happen. And I don't know if Dave Chappelle is aware of this, but the theater kids, those flamboyant, energetic group of individuals, they house, if High School Musical taught me anything, that genre of kids, those group of people, the theater kids, they are one of the most accepting group of kids. They're one of the most accepting group of people because they house gay, trans, queer, the whole plethora. Whatever it is, you're accepted there. The only thing that's probably not accepted there is hate. And dare I say, probably a little bit of bias towards other genres. And I'm taking this back to high school. But in my high school, for lack of better terms, that was the group of kids that got a lot of love and attention because they were so welcoming to everybody. And the thing that I found to be interesting is that this didn't happen sooner. that a theater that probably hosts on a day when it's not Saturday and they're hosting the biggest comedian in the world, they're probably hosting, very intimate sessions that have to do with very personable topics such as day-to-day actions. They probably hosting very small groups like this. These are the places where, and not this place in particular, because this was like the last place that Prince performed before he died. But like, there are theaters that actually like house places for rehabilitated criminals, for children, underserved children's mothers who are finding place. Like, these places also house and create a safe space for a large amount of people. So the fact that this didn't happen sooner is kind of mind-boggling to me. But are you surprised? Like, Dave Chappelle getting canceled again is not a shocker to me. But ultimately, this is going to continue to happen. Now, the details of why the show was canceled last minute, because if anything, that was an inconvenience to the fans, not so much Dave Chappelle. But the thing is, this is probably a consequences of people who were supposed to work that show standing in solidarity with their gay and trans community. And I just need Dave Chappelle to, if he's done telling the jokes, because once again, I haven't seen any of his, I'm going to see Nope. I'm seeing Nope tomorrow morning, so I'll probably talk about that on Tuesday. If he's done with the whole trans thing, he needs to just come out and address it and say, hey, look, that line of jokes are done. I don't know what the community is still angry about. I've offered to sit down and talk with them, and I've given him credit on that. He has reached out to this community, but the damage might be done. And I also like to say, once again, I can't speak for that community. If I was a black person and a Klansman who still had a Klansman tattoo on his face came up to me and was like, hey, I'm no longer a Klansman. I'm waiting on the tattoo removal to happen in about a week or two, but I want to come on to the show and break bread. So yo, go fuck yourself. You feel me? Clap it. Like, it's not happening. Not here. Get the fuck out of here. And that's the feeling. That's the notion. So I can't be mad at these people for doing this to him. But I'm here to tell you, this will come full circle when Dave Chappelle he decides to die on this hill, and he will die on this hill, because he's eventually going to come out and make a statement that the gay and trans community is racist, and that's when he'll jump the shark. All of this will be over. Dave Chappelle will officially become a boomer, and he'll fall into the limelight of conservative. Like, once Dave Chappelle makes it to Fox News, we're fucked. Clap it. That's what I think. But let me know what you think. I'm interested to know. Do you feel like this was an appropriate reaction? Do you feel like this was something that was bound to happen? Let me know in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe. And let's get into the next topic.